Are you looking for a place to rent? Are you looking for a place to help people rent or lease things long term? Then lucky for you, we actually have a property rental template inside our systems. If you go to softr.io/templates today. So first of all, as for any different template, we have created this with a specific use case in mind. And this is an amazing option if we press preview and see that it will help people find co-living spaces in a way that is pretty amazing, honestly. I love the fact that you can essentially go in here if you're looking for something to suit your needs, check out all the different hosts and much more. So let's dive into it. So let's press use template to get started with this. So by pressing use template and selecting our data source, copying the base to your Airtable account or your Google Sheets, adding the base, we then can get going on this. So let's then press create application. All right. So as you can see on this end, there are a few different user groups. There are hosts and guests. So you can see this from two different perspectives. In the table itself, we have a user section that showcases whether they're a host or a guest. This is essentially done by a formula that connects the fact as to whether they are a host or not. So say, for example, they have a related field that goes to the host base, then they are in fact a host. If not, they are a guest. Then it also has all of the apartments that the different users are connected with on the host side. And then here, this showcases all of the different data within there, like their location, their bio, whether they're approved or not. And then right here, we have the apartment listings and all the different information within those, payment link to go along with it, hosts attached to it, their emails, their locations, the listing, the continent, and a bunch of different pictures for thumbnails and the prices. So let's see how this looks on this end. If we go to the home page, we'll see that if we are somebody who is any user, we can see this find co-living spaces at the top, and we can see this section at the bottom. And there's also that explore trending cities section as well. If we wanted to custom edit this, we could have any of these images maybe go to a specific page that showcases all of the different properties in London or Croatia or Miami. But this is essentially connected to the apartments table, and the view by default is this approved view. So you'll see that there are different ones here. So if I, for example, were to change this to no, the Tampa Heights one would disappear here. And then if I went into this system here and previewed it, and I looked for Tampa, it wouldn't be here because it's not approved. Now you could also achieve the same exact thing by just filtering it so that the approved is, and then put yes. Since in the back end here, it says yes, you'd have to match the name here is yes. So it'd essentially be the same thing. And you could not even have to pick the approved view, but just press all instead, and it would go to the exact same sort of conditional logic, right? In one sense, you're covering it up based off what you see in the Airtable side of things. And the other sense, it's just doing it based off of the data in Airtable rather than the view that you're limiting it to. So if we go within here and I preview this one more time and I looked up Tampa, it wouldn't be found. Now this view can be searched by the listing name and location. And as you can see, that's the listing name. So let me press yes and showcase that it actually does work once the name is in there properly and it is approved. So now if we end up typing Tampa, it should work no problem. It actually marks on any of the listings how many bedrooms that it has. As you can see here, it is the bedrooms, the location. So this is in the Miami, United States. It's got the name of the listing and then the rent per month. I can filter by how many beds are within here. So there's no 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms. But if I press 3 and up, it does seem that that's the case. I can pick whether I want it to be in North America or in Europe. And if I select multiple of these, it's a multi-select filter option. But that can be adjusted to your preference if you want. In the filter side, you can make it so that it's a tag system or a drop-down. Drop-down would make it so that you can select one, whereas tags is multiple. Now, if I press explore spaces, all this is gonna do is bring me down to this section. And if I click inside of one of these, while not being logged in, I am able to check out this page in general. And I'm able to click on this link, which will bring me to a booking page, which is essentially a Stripe page. However, obviously this is gonna be expired because we don't wanna put a real link to an actual payment link on our template. But you can easily change that essentially going into the listing details. you'll see that it has that details section right here. And that book link, that book now link right here, is essentially a button, right, for book now that is linked to that payment link in the back end. So if we wanted to change that link to something that would work, we just change the invoice stripe.com link or whatever other payment link we could have there. Now, when it comes to the differences that you can see, if you are somebody who's logged in or not, it's pretty minor, as from this end, all I can do is scroll down. For example, on the back end, you can see that on the details page that this showcases the different hosts within there, and then also showcases the different other stays that are nearby. So essentially this puts it so that anything listed here are going to be other listings that are within the same location property. So that would be say it was like a Miami option. We actually could see that really quick if we go to this Miami location. Say, for example, the ones that are in Miami would showcase the ones that are in Miami, so on and so forth with things like LA and London. It's pretty easy for somebody to browse the hosts as well. They can click here, check out all the different hosts and their information, filter it by these different options. Once again, this is a tag filter, so you can change that to a select if you would like. If I click on this, I have the ability to contact the person. By clicking this, it would then go to their email, and then this would showcase the different listings that they did have attached to them as well. By pressing login or sign up, I have the option to do so. And the main thing that you do get when you're able to be logged in is the fact that you can actually pick to try to become a host. So if I was a host right here, I could submit this and apply. And the benefits would be generating income, making friends, be safe and secure. And then essentially after submitting this information, I would go into that host database right here. And once you then are approved, it would showcase on the host page. So as you can see, this host page has a table that once again has a default view as approved. So if I click on here, this is all the approved ones. And if I were to uncheck any of these, like Lucy, for example, you go to browse hosts, she is no longer going to be there. Now, the only thing that hosts can really do is essentially add a listing. By pressing this add listing button after being logged in as a host, I then would be able to add my own listing within here. And these fields would essentially map to the listing page right here. So the rent going there, the thumbnails going within here, the extra images going within here. It's essentially just mapping out exactly what we'd want, and then we'd send in the application. And as you would guess, once again, the only ones that are shown are going to be the approved ones that end up being seen by us in the back end as the administrator of these databases and tables. So this is a really simple system. I actually think this is one of our better looking templates. I love the way that you can have this work for not only hosts, but people who are looking for rentals, and then people can connect together in this awesome world that we have with such a simple system, thanks to Softr. If you like this video and want to check out more content on how to improve your skills using Softr, make sure to check out this video right here.